Bem-vindos, bem-vindas. A gente está prestes aí a começar um encontro. Eu estou recebendo ainda o pessoal na sala para a gente poder iniciar. E enquanto isso, eu vou explicar para vocês um pouquinho do conceito desses encontros, tá? Principalmente do encontro de hoje. Então, para vocês não ficarem tão perdidos, tal, principalmente para quem está assistindo via YouTube e ainda não tem uma fluência boa no inglês. Então, você que vai acompanhar via YouTube, esteja ciente que pode ser que você não entenda todas as coisas que a gente fala, se você for do nível básico. Se você for de um nível um pouco mais avançado, você vai sim entender tudo que a gente fala e você vai inclusive descobrir que a gente fala várias coisas erradas. Então, tanto eu quanto quem for dos Estados Unidos, a gente vai cometer vários erros e você não precisa ficar preocupado com relação a isso, do tipo, nossa, mas eles erraram na frente de todo mundo, ou nossa, se eu for lá, eu vou errar na frente de todo mundo. Sim, a gente comete erros no dia a dia enquanto a gente fala inglês, português, qualquer outro idioma. E isso é totalmente normal. Os erros são parte da metodologia da The English Room. Afinal, a gente aprende errando, né? Você erra uma vez, depois você se assiste e você fala assim: nossa, eu falei aquela coisa absurda, como pode? E você vê que, na verdade, você progride muito mais quando você está disposto a errar. Então, essa disposição em errar é o que vai te trazer aí os acertos que você precisa ter. O encontro de hoje é bem simples. A gente vai treinar aí o Simple Past. Então, você que é do básico, você vai ver que tem um mundo novo de inglês à sua frente quando você começa a trabalhar com o passado. O uso do passado, ele faz com que você tenha que conjugar todos os verbos de uma forma diferente. Então, sei lá, o que era read becomes read, o que era go se torna went, o que era I am se torna I was. Então você vai perceber que o seu vocabulário ele pode ser muito bom para o simple present e ele vai ser bem mais ou menos na hora de descrever o simple past. Então você vai falar assim, nossa, eu não entendi nada do que eles estavam falando, mas muitas vezes é porque você não tinha ainda o vocabulário de passado. O grande foco no Simple Past é você entender os verbos, porque a construção da frase ela acaba sendo muito parecida. Então, sei lá, você fala I am studying English. In past, I was studying English. I enjoy talking to you. In the past, I enjoyed talking to you. Então, eu principalmente mudo o verbo. Então, é isso que vocês vão ver hoje. Prestem bastante atenção na forma como as pessoas fazem as construções. Eu já conheço muitas das pessoas que vão estar online hoje e eu vou dar prioridade para essas pessoas que eu conheço para começarem a falar. Então, vocês vão ver que a construção delas é muito boa e vocês podem prestar atenção sem medo de ser feliz na forma como elas falam. Eu vou começar falando também e a ideia do encontro é: você vai se apresentar. Você vai falar, então, seu nome, o que você gosta de fazer, qual a sua profissão, e depois você vai me contar, então, qual foi o dia mais feliz da sua vida. E é isso que a gente vai fazer. Então, se você ficar um pouco perdido, perdida, não se preocupe, eu vou perguntar para você, vou fazer perguntas para te ajudar. Se você não estiver perdido, pode ficar tranquilo que você vai conseguir falar e eu não vou te interromper. Então, deixa eu só arrumar aqui a configuração da minha tela aqui e a gente vai passar para a parte prática então do encontro. Você que está assistindo via YouTube e já está no nosso grupo de WhatsApp, você pode participar do encontro, eu já deixei o link lá. E você que ainda não está no nosso grupo do WhatsApp, você pode acessar aí o teringles.com para você poder ter acesso aos links que são exclusivos para quem está no grupo. Esses links são os links para entrar ao vivo conosco. Eu tive que fazer essa medida porque a gente estava recebendo umas pessoas falando umas coisas absurdas ao vivo. Então eu decidi que era melhor ter um filtro de que as pessoas que realmente seguem a The English Room são pessoas que vão participar. Então, se você quer seguir, entra lá no teringles.com. Se você está assistindo ao vivo, você vai ver também no chat o link para participar do grupo de WhatsApp sem ter que acessar o site. Mas o site é bem tranquilo, teringles.com. Você entra lá, vai ter como agendar aula experimental comigo, vai ter como acessar o grupo de conversação e vai ter acesso ao grupo dos encontros também. Bom, vamos começar sem mais delongas. Não se esquece de se inscrever no canal, deixar joinha, compartilhar essa live com todo mundo para o nosso encontro finalmente poder crescer e atingir grandes proporções e eu conseguir ajudar mais gente. Esse encontro é de graça, ao vivo, todo domingo, às 18 horas. Então vamos começar hoje. What was the best day of your life? Just a moment. And here we go. I hope people can see me. So I'll start by talking about about the best day of my life. Um, the best day of my life was when I was around 8 years old. I was with my mom, and I used to study in a school called Irene in Campos do Jordão. And back there, they used to organize an event for moms and kids. And we used to go there, and they used to give us candy. They used to give us hot dogs and lots of food. And they also hired some professionals to entertain the kids. And together with these professionals, it came many activities. For example, there was a ball pool. I don't know if that's the way we call it. It's like a swimming pool, but full of balls, colorful balls. And we also had trampolines. We had concerts, and I remember that I decided that was going to be the best day of my life because there was a concert, and in the concert there was a sertanejo. Uh, they were playing and they were singing a song called "Let's Take the First Airplane with Destiny to Happiness." It was something like that. All right, it's only a free translation. They were singing in Portuguese, of course, and I was on my mom's shoulder, and I was like feeling really good. I felt like protected. I felt like I was with the person I loved the most that day, and I spent her the whole day with her. So I got to spend a whole day with her, and that was pretty rare. Uh, Back there, my mom used to work a lot, so we didn't spend much time together. So that day was very remarkable for me. That was the best day of my life. I don't know exactly which day was that because I was too young to remember the dates, but I know that was the best feeling I ever had. That was the best day I ever had. I have no kids. People say the best day of your life would be when your kid was born, but I didn't have this experience yet. So um, I can say that the best day of my life was together with my mom. My mom is here with me, so I hope she's watching the live call. I don't know if she's watching it or if she's just sleeping, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna watch the recorded live anyways because she watches everything, and I'd like to thank her for that wonderful day. I will turn on the captions so people who's watching us there are gonna be able to read a little. I think it can help them. But I also would like to say that the captions make lots of mistakes too, because they are automatically generated. I didn't hire anybody to just type the captions for us. And I'd like to talk now to Miriam Barbosa. Just kidding. Dave. Hey, Dave.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How's it hanging?
Going well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, things are great. So, Dave, can you introduce yourself first?
Okay. I'm Dave Lee. I'm from the United States, but I moved to Brazil 2 years ago and opened an English school called Dave Lee's English in Brasilia. And now I actually live in Piauí because after COVID, we started doing everything online. And so I said, hey, we can live anywhere. And my wife said, hey, let's go live close to where my parents live, which has always been her dream. So she lived in the United States with me for 15 years. And I said, she can live where she wants to in Brazil now. So we're here.
Oh, that's wonderful. And are you enjoying Brazil?
Oh, yes. I'm enjoying it a lot. Let's see. I really loved Brasilia. Águas Claras was the part of Brasilia I lived in. And to me, it was almost like an American city where everyone spoke Portuguese because it just reminded me so much of a big city in the United States. But now I'm in a very small town in Piauí, and it's very quiet and peaceful, and I'm enjoying it here. I'm just still trying to get used to the heat.
All right. And did the best day of your life happen in the United States or in Brazil?
You know, I had a hard time thinking about what is my very best day, but I will say it actually happened in Teresina, Brazil, because that's where I got married. I met my wife in Teresina, and I didn't speak Portuguese and she didn't speak English, but I knew enough after 5 days to ask her to marry me, and she said yes. And then I had to go back to the United States to work for 3 months. But 3 months later, I came back and I said, okay, now we've got to get ready to get married. You know, I'm only going to be in Teresina for 2 weeks, and then I have to go back and work again. And we went to the forum, and they started doing the paperwork, and they said, okay, we'll be ready to do your ceremony in 2 weeks. I said, no, I've got to leave in 2 weeks. You can't wait that long. And fortunately, my friend who was a missionary, he and his wife, they pulled some strings or something, and we were able to get married 1 week later. And so we went back to the forum, and this tall, distinguished looking judge performed the ceremony. And of course, it was all in Portuguese. And my Portuguese level was so low at that time that the only thing I understood, let me say that my friend's wife translated for me. So everything the judge said, she would say to me. And the only thing I understood was the last thing the judge said when he said, "You may kiss the bride." And so I didn't wait for a translation. I went ahead and kissed right then, and then we were officially married. So that was definitely either the happiest day of my life or one of the happiest days of my life.
All right. Well, I think your Portuguese was pretty good because you were able to get married with somebody who wasn't able to speak English. So your Portuguese was good enough.
uh, I don't know. I believe in miracles, so maybe it was just a miracle.
So you guys got married 5 days after getting to know each other. And for how long have you been together?
Okay. Yes, we got engaged 5 days after meeting. We got married 3 months after we got engaged. And then it took 4 months for my wife's paperwork to go through so she could move to the US. And that was we got married in 2004, and she moved to the US in 2005. And so we've been married for 16 years.
All right. But if I understand it right, you guys just got 5 days of getting to know each other before getting married because
Yeah, but before getting
flew back
engaged.
to the United States 5 days after uh, meeting her, right?
Right. Yeah. So we met each other, and 5 days later, I asked her to marry me. And we had about a week after that to get to know each other a little better before I had to go back the first time.
All right.
So,
So you spent like 12 days together.
right,
And now,
exactly.
for how long have you guys been together?
And now we've been together 16 years.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a beautiful story. It's almost unbelievable.
Like I said, I believe in miracles. So,
I believe you, I think you believe in love at first sight too.
I, I guess so. Yeah, maybe not before, but I did when I saw her.
That's amazing, Dave. That's an amazing story. Thanks for sharing. And guys, if you had any difficulties, don't worry because I will leave the recording here. You can watch it later over and over again, and you can get to know many of the items Dave used during his speech. And that's a very good way for you to study, right? So thanks, Dave. Thanks a lot. I'm going to be talking now to Giselle. Hello there, Giselle. How's it
Hi
going?
there. I'm very good. How about you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. So, Giselle, what was the best day of your life?
Oh, let me share about my not my best day. It one day very important about in my life. It was when my niece was born. I was with my family at the hospital, and um, it was very important and a very beautiful day because my nephew and my parents were very happy and very emotional, and she was very expected for us. And when um, she she burned when
When she
she
was
burned
born?
yes, when she was born, she was very cute. She was very smile kid, and it was very beautiful day for my family and for me. It very unforgettable day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Imagine the day you get to have your own child.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
All right. Thanks for sharing. And can you introduce yourself?
Oh, of course. So my name is Giselle. I'm 33. I'm a pharmacist, and in my free time, I like very much um, dancing, drawing, cooking, and reading books and listening to music.
Thanks. Thanks for sharing again. I'll be
Thank
talking to
you.
Daniel, but before I just realized that I didn't introduce myself. So for those who don't know me yet, my name is Anderson. I'm from Campos do Jordão. I was born and raised there, and I live in São Paulo nowadays. I'm an English teacher since 2009, and I like dancing. I like playing the guitar. As you can see, I have a real guitar here. Some people ask me if this isn't a green screen. No, this is a real scenario. So this guitar is real, and I play it all the time for my mother's torture because I don't play it very well, but I'm learning how to play it, and I've been trying to learn it for the last 10 years. So I can say that this is my real hobby. I now I have a dog, so that's my new hobby too. I don't know if I can consider having a dog a hobby because it consumes a lot of time, but I have a beautiful dog and I'm enjoying this experience. It's my first dog. I had dogs when I was a kid, but I never had to take care of them. So what I can tell you is that this really changed your life. So I consider it to be pretty important. All right, so this is it about myself. I think what I can tell about my English, I learned that in the United States. I went there for 1 month and I studied at Kaplan for 4 hours a day plus 3 hours a day of homework every day. And I just had American or European friends, so I didn't have the possibility of speaking Portuguese to them. And that was great because I had to really think in English 24/7, and it was great. It was a great experience. When I returned to Brazil, I already started attending foreign governments. They wanted to bring money to Brazil, and I just started helping them how to do that. And after 6 months, I was already giving class in a very famous school here in Brazil, and I stayed there for 7 years. Nowadays, I've been teaching English with my own method for 5 years. And during these 5 years, I think I have taught around 1,000 people already. So I made 1,000 people speak English, and that's very rewarding. My goal here is to make my students speak a better English than mine. So I know my mistakes, I know the problems I have. I've been working with my English every day for the last 10 years, and that's important. I know many English teachers who just stopped studying English, and I know I will never stop studying, even when I feel like, oh, my English is better than the native's English. I will continue studying because I think if that's your profession, you have to master it. And not only you master it, but the process of learning it. And when I'm studying, what I do here is I really pay attention to each step I give, and I say, oh, I should put my students through this step. So I don't know, a few months ago, I discovered the shadowing, which I called another thing, and I performed different. I called it the Morgan Freeman technique. It was for you to just uh, make an impression of Morgan Freeman in order to speak better, like time, life itself, everything lies through the wormhole. And I was like making impressions of Morgan Freeman in order to make my English sounds better. And after a while, I discovered that the name of that was shadowing. And nowadays, I have been using shadowing with my students, but that came because I had to improve my own English. So that's the idea of learning to teach. So I'm learning to improve my own English, and I use that to teach my students. And that's it, guys. That's enough about me. I'd like to hear loud from Daniel. Hey there, Daniel. How's it going?
Hi, man. How are you?
I'm great. So, Daniel, what can you tell us about yourself?
Uh, well, that's the hardest question of my life because I don't know how to define myself. But I'm a student and a developer of a programming developer. Uh, I'm a guy that live nearly of the beach. Um, I'm 24. Uh, that's it. That's it. I think about me. That's a good point.
What do you like doing in your free time?
Oh, I like to read. I like to study a lot more than doing other things. Sometimes I like to play a video games, but that made me angry. But I like it. I like it. Um, I like to study like culture. I like to study about astronomy, about my own profession. As you said, we need to improve every day more. Uh, and English, of course. because that's a goal, that's a dream that I have, and that's it. That's it.
All right. And what was the best day of your life?
Well, I think a lot, and my point of view is closer to the Giselle said. I don't have one of the greatest day. I have one of them, and the memory that came to me, the most recent or the best recent memory that came to me is when I was in Maceió, Alagoas, in the Praia do Francês, and I passed my vacation there with my family. We rent a home in the beach, really in the beach. Around we saw sand, waves, and there I lived some experience. Like I had my first contact with the Spanish language because I know some people from Argentina there. Uh, I I swim and I saw fish and every kind of life in the sea, and it was an amazing experience, more than live outside of Brazil. Um, I think that was a good one because I was with the people that I love. Um, I lived a great experience. Yeah, I think that's it. In 2017.
All right. Thanks for sharing.
Right.
All right, Daniel. So I'll be talking to you later. Now I'd like to talk a little to Anna. Hello, Anna. How's it going?
Hello, teacher. I'm good. Thank you.
Welcome back to the meetings. So, Anna, what can you tell us about yourself?
I'm Anna, or Carol. I prefer Carol. I am 17 years old. I live in a small town called São João da Boa Vista, is in São Paulo. I'm at high school on the third year. I like to read books and write. What more I need to tell?
I don't know. What do you write?
I write short stories and romances, thrillers.
Amazing. Anna, what was the best day of your life?
The best day of my life, I'm not sure, but I guess it was when my parents got married. I was 8 years old. I don't remember really well, but it was a really simple wedding. It was only 12 people. It was in the church. I don't know how can I say this.
In a church shop, yeah.
In the church. After we go to our home, make a small party with some relatives. I was the minha. I don't know. It's what I remember.
That's wonderful, and it's great that you have such a good memory. Usually, when I tell people that the best day of my life is when I was 8, many people say, "Oh, but how can you remember that?" And that's what I felt like. Oh, maybe I'm strange, weird, but
I remember.
I can see you remember that too. Yeah.
I heard that day my knee before the eating, but okay.
Amazing, Anna. That's great. Thanks for sharing. I'll be talking to you later. Now I'd like to talk to Jonathan. Thank you. Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
Hi there. Good evening. How's it going? I'm
I'm
fine.
great. How's it hanging?
I'm fine. Uh, well, my name is Jonathan. I'm 27 years old. I am from Carapicuíba, São Paulo. I like to play chess. What else? I like to study English, even though I finally uh, finished my English course, and nowadays I'm taking Spanish classes. Uh, what else?
Do you have a profession?
No, I'm jobless.
And when you were working, what do you work with?
Uh, I don't I have projects. I work on it. You know, I don't have a specific job.
All right. So, Jonathan, what was the best day of your life?
Well, I'd say that the best day of my life was the day I lost my eyes because uh, for many people it would be a hard time, but in fact it is. But I finally understood the meaning of my life because I became a more humble person, and it taught me many things, and I am thankful uh, for that. Uh, Many people have bigger uh, uh, pass through pass through many many more uh, difficulties than me, and I could have died uh, in the past, but I am alive. You know, uh, I I am able to walk and to talk, and I couldn't be able to do these things, due to the cancer I got in the childhood.
Oh, so you lost your eyesight because of cancer.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. And well, I'm great. Uh, I'm happy. I'm glad that you turned that into a good thing and you feel like that was the best day of your life. How old were you when it happened?
I was 20. I was 12 years old, and nowadays I am 27.
All right.
So it has 15 years.
And I guess the first years were the most difficult.
Yes, indeed, it was because I thought that uh, there there wouldn't. Uh, I'm sorry. Uh, I thought that I wouldn't do many things because uh, I I I I lost my eyesight, and I I thought what what will I do uh, since I lost my eyesight.
All right. Um, Thanks for sharing. It's a very beautiful and powerful story. And what I'd
Thank
like
you.
to do now is I'm going to change the meeting a little. We're going to go to
Okay.
the second part of the meeting. I told you this meeting was about simple past. So now we're going to be able to ask questions to each other, and these questions must be related to the past. So I'm going to be choosing somebody here, and you have to basically ask a question to somebody. This question needs to be about the past. It can't be a question about something people do nowadays. It should be something about the past. My question was, what was the best day of your life? But you could be asking any question related to the past to anybody who is here, I myself included. So I will start by asking Dave a question, and Dave will turn his question to somebody else here, so you don't know who's going to be the next. All right, here we go. So, Dave.
Yes.
How did you learn Portuguese?
By necessity. Because my wife didn't speak English and I didn't speak Portuguese. We both wanted to learn each other's language as quickly as possible. And the way I learned was, I call it the kitchen sink method. There's a saying in English, we threw everything at the problem except the kitchen sink. That means you do everything possible, everything you can think of to try to solve a problem. And so I, had little pieces of paper, little Post-it notes that I put on things, and I would read them. Let's see, there weren't many resources because this was 2004, so there were not many online professors and things. So I spoke to my wife a lot, and one thing we did a lot that helped us was she had a Portuguese Bible, New International Version, or Versão Internacional Novo, no, something like that. I can't remember. And in English, there's a very similar translation called the New International Version. And with the Bible, it's real easy to follow along because all of the chapters are divided into verses. So she would read a verse in Portuguese and I would read it in English. And then after my Portuguese improved and her English improved, we would switch and I would read the Portuguese and she would read the English. And there were just a lot of other ways, but that was a kind of a unique way that really helped us to learn each other's language.
I gotta tell you, you did it the hard way, because when I was 12, I started studying the Bible, and I was speaking Portuguese for 12 years, and I didn't understand a thing from the Bible. So,
Yes. Fortunately, we were both pretty familiar with the Bible in our own language. And I told my wife, do not read the King James Version. That's the most popular English version, but it's 400 years old. So it was written in the time of Shakespeare. I said, don't read that one. Let's read a 2000 something version. It was a lot easier.
all right, that makes sense. Maybe I read the old one because I was like, oh no, the Bible is impossible to understand when I was 12. Nowadays, I can read it and I can understand, especially the metaphors. There are many metaphors, so it makes it very hard. But I'm glad you could learn Portuguese through that.
Yeah, that was just one method, but it was something pretty useful. If you're familiar with the Bible in one language, especially the stories like David and Goliath, the prodigal son, is good to read the stories because stories are interesting.
That makes sense. I agree with you. So, Dave, now it's your turn. You can ask a question to anybody here in the meeting. So go ahead.
Okay. I don't think I've met Anna. So, Anna, let's see. How have you learned English so far? How have you studied English so far?
I have studied English for 5 years, I think, in a English school. There's not a special.
And did this English school use translation, or were they more conversational? How was that?
No, don't We didn't use translations. We don't talk it a lot, but there was small conversations. There is a book, homework. It's this.
Congrats, you're very intelligent. Your English is pretty good.
Thank you.
Are you happy with the answer, Dave?
Yes, that was a very good answer.
All right. So, Anna, now it's your turn. You can ask a question to anybody here. There's Daniel, Jonathan, Giselle, Dave, and me.
Okay, let me think. Giselle, why did you study at pharmacy?
Wow, it's a hard and a very good question. I have been studying pharmacist because when I was a kid, my wish was save lives. So I am not good person with hand save. I don't know how can I say this in English, but I'm not good person to touch bodies and touch people. So I prefer books and articles and reading and study about. So when I describe that we can save lives with medicines, with drugs, we need to prepare, we need to research about medicine and prepare some drugs. I imagine it and I thought, oh my God, I think this is a correct way. And I talked with a lot of people in my college, and I find I met a pharmacist, and I'm very happy with this profession nowadays.
So, you were already in college when you started talking to people?
Oh, I was in a second grade.
Do you
I am
mean
not
high
sure.
school?
Yes, in a high school. Yes, yes, in a
All
high
right.
school.
So, you decided that when you were in high school on second grade?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you Are you happy with your choice?
Oh, yes, I'm correct way. I'm very, very happy with my profession. I love it.
All right. I'm glad you do. Now it's your turn. You can ask any question to anybody. They may lie if they want. If they not feel like answering the correct answer, but you can ask anything to anyone here.
Oh, let me see. I don't know. Let me try. Um,
I'd say you should choose your target first.
um, let me see. I think I will choose a Daniel. And Daniel, um, how can you um, let me
Remember,
see.
the question needs to be about the past.
Okay, but um, did you learn English in a specific school or alone? Did you have been studying English with with somebody?
Oh, thanks for the question, Giselle. Well, my first contact with English was when I changed from my first home that I have in my life. I'm in the third one, and I moved to the second one. And there was a couple of family that they have two sons, and they were from United States. Uh, we were playing. I can't remember if it was soccer or or anything else. And we had difficult with communication, and that was the point, the where everything starts. They learn me a little bit of English. I teach them a little bit of Portuguese, and that was after that I went to school, one traditional school of English, where I stayed for 2 months, I think 2 or 3 months. Not too much time because English with my friends was better than in the school, and my mama told like you're not studying in a school to make steps back. I left, start to study by myself. After that, I came to Anderson, and here we are.
So you have been studying with me, right?
Yeah, yeah. The English room is my English school.
And I gotta tell guys that he also earned the prize in a contest that I released here, which was for you to adapt a conversation with two Brazilians who were talking to each other, and they used lots of Brazilian structures. So he was the winner of that contest. Congrats, Daniel, for that. And he was the one who adapted the best way the conversation to make it sound natural. So after that, we started also having one-on-one classes, and that's it. I, I'm glad you're enjoying the course.
Yeah, a lot, man. In every point, not just in English, but uh, teach you to face some challenge. You know, when you talk with someone only in English, and you don't feel confident, that makes you to start to adapt, find the points that you need to make better, the points that you done better or still doing better, uh, and not just talk about English, is to make things for yourself. Uh, Choose a way more challengeful than keeping the traditional study for 5 6 years and don't have any conversation in English.
All right, that's great, Daniel. Thanks for sharing. And now I'd like you to ask a question to Jonathan. He's the only one who didn't answer any question yet.
Yeah. Well, I heard his story, and I know because it's a thing that I can't imagine, but I will ask him how it is to him deal with a world or even himself without an image as reference like how he see himself, like like he is a kid or something like that. How he imagine uh, his family, the world around. That's my question.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I understood your question, but I will try to answer. I'm not actually blind, totally blind. I am low vision. I I used to see uh, all the things, you know, and I lost my eyes with 12 years old. And I have some memories, some visual memories in my mind, you know, and uh, I can only I know how I know the colors, all the colors. Uh, I learned many things that uh, I I I I wouldn't be able to learn if I was born blind, you know. But that's not my case. I I born with vision, and I lost with 12 years old.
I think he tried to say like if you create some mental images of people, like if you imagine the appearance or the semblance of your friends, of yourself, and of people who surround you, the environments. Because you said you have a very low vision, right? So
Yeah.
do you complete that vision with imagination?
Uh, no, uh I don't do this. I recognize people by hearing their voices. You know, I know who I am talking about by hearing their voices.
All right. And so you have like a familiar sound to each friend of yours.
Yeah, uh, I memorize each one by hearing their voices.
That's very interesting. I do the same actually. I don't have problems with my eyes, but I have a much better listening memory. You know, like I remember sounds better than images. So, for example, when I watch a movie, I don't remember the scenes. I remember the dialogues. I remember all the dialogues of a movie, like all the lines, and I'm able to repeat all of them, but I don't remember the image. So, as I start seeing the image, I know what people are about to say. That's because I have much better sound memory than image memory. So I know what you're talking about.
Really nice.
All right, so now it's your turn to ask a question. It's going to be the last question, so I'd like you to ask me a question, or me or Dave. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something. When was the last time you threw a party or went to a restaurant to have a lunch or something like that?
Oh, I'm going to talk about the last time I threw a party.
Yeah.
Let me think about it. It was a long time ago. No, it wasn't so long ago. The last party I threw was the day the state declared like it was forbidden to throw parties. I remember back there when COVID was just getting started to be widespread and people were just deciding if this was serious or not. I was like, no, I think this is some kind of conspiracy. I think they want to keep us at home, and that's not a real thing, and etc. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna stop doing my dancing socials because I was an organizer of socials, and I said, no, I'm gonna keep my party on. The party must go on until the last moment. And then the last day before they close everything, I was throwing a party. And I remember I was really irresponsible because I didn't believe COVID. So I said, oh no, alcohol is able to humanize people. So I'm going to just put some alcohol on my face and kiss them on the cheek, you know? And dance with people like with lots of alcohol. So I was crazy, and now I know it because the next day they really closed everything and they said, no, this is a real situation. There are many people dying, and I was like, oh my god, thank God I didn't have any problem because I was living dangerously.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
But I missed throwing parties. I used to organize socials regularly, so every month we used to have a Zook and Forró social. It was amazing. All right,
Nice,
guys.
that's nice. All
Thanks,
right,
Jonathan, for your question. It was a very interesting one, and
you're welcome.
I'm gonna be closing the meeting, and I'm gonna be closing the meeting now. I don't know what's going on. And I'm gonna be closing the meeting now, but I'd like to thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing your stories with us. They were
You're
very
welcome.
important and personal stories. I could feel the love of most of the stories here, and I could feel like I was touched by all the stories. They were really good. You performed really well. I'm pretty sure you're gonna watch this again and you're gonna see lots of mistakes you made, and lots of mistakes I made, and lots of mistakes Dave made. I don't know. So you're gonna be able to see, like, oh yeah, this could have been said some other way. And I do that all the time, especially when I record videos for YouTube in Portuguese. So I record and then I watch and I say, "Oh my gosh, why the hell did I say that?" So don't worry about it. You're gonna make mistakes in Portuguese. You're gonna make mistakes in English, and no one's
I'd
here in judging you. So don't
I'd
worry
like
about
to
it.
say that I'd like to say that practice makes it perfect.
That's
Don't
it.
don't uh, yeah. Let's have let's join the meeting all the weekend. All the weekend.
And I can also say that Pratt makes it nearly perfect because it will never be
Yeah.
perfect. So thank you guys. I'd like also to thank everybody on YouTube for joining. Don't forget to access teringles.com in order to have access to our meetings. Next week, we're going to have an advanced level meeting. So I'd like also to say, if you didn't take the test to see if you can participate in the advanced level meeting, text me on WhatsApp on 11 96268 0026, and you can text me there and I can send you some questions to check if you are advanced. And if you are, you can take part on our advanced level meeting next weekend. I hope to see you guys there, and I'll see you guys the next meeting. I'll see you guys the next videos, and that's it. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.